Hey, what's going on, everyone? Michael, the Leo Mystic, bringing you the astrology of this week, looking at both the light and the dark energies in the chart for the 14th until the 20th of February. We got the sun shifting into Pisces by the end of this week, but first we got a full moon in Leo. Oh! And with every full moon, we got a free spiritual guide that explains everything in detail, what this full moon in Leo is about and how to integrate it in your life. There's a meditation, and the cool thing is it is for free, or you can choose to support me through all the work that I've put in for just $4.99. I'll put the link down below. You can go and check it out. And as with every change of season, we open up the Heaven on Earth community. We change from Aquarius to Pisces season. The Heaven on Earth community is all there to help you live a life according to the cycles of the planets, nature, and your inner voice. Check it out. We got 20 members. We got a lot of fun, a lot of support for each other, working with themes to support you in this Piscean time, Piscean month, meditations to align with that Piscean energy, dark moon guidance, full moon and new moon guide that is for free forever, by the way, and which is not going to be the case with the spiritual guides. So you might want to check that out. I'll put the link down below as well. And whoa, it's the last week of Aquarius season. It's been, as usual, a very different, weird Aquarian time, but also very beautiful, very opportunistic. But, you know, honestly, we had Venus and Mercury over Pluto. These are very changing times where we change our minds, where we have dark thoughts, where we have, you know, people losing in our life, but also where we experience so much power and so much knowledge and so much, wow, it's intense. It was very intense. And, you know, I don't think we're going to continue like that. I think it's going to soften. I think it's going to smoothen. But, you know, in Pisces season I'm talking about, because this last week is packed with crazy cool energy. So first, you know, the moon is traveling through Cancer, Leo, and Virgo this whole week. And you know what? If you were to look at an astrological chart, or at least if you look at the skies too, there's the moon, and all over there is Saturn and Neptune and Jupiter and the Sun and Mercury and Venus and Mars and Pluto, and it's just like, holy shit. The moon is our mood, our emotions, and represents us when we're talking about the world astrology. Mundane astrology is what that's called. And so we're kind of like tiptoeing through emotional Cancer and then through Leo, and it is demanding of us to experience and to step into that polarity, you know, of the Aquarius is all about the group, and Leo, Pisces is all about, you know, just dreaming and just being together. But, you know, and Capricorn is about seriousness. But the moon is traveling to soft Cancer, and the polarity of understanding that we have to nurture ourselves and really want to nurture ourselves, and then step into our ego, into our pride, into our power. And I'll talk about more about the full moon in just a second. And then in Virgo, about service and about practical application. But it's just like, as if all those energies are saying, you know, like, all eyes are on you. Are you gonna do it, or are you just gonna follow us? And it's like, it's pulling you, and it feels as if, you know, it could be kind of scary. It could be like you feel alone in a way. But in the doing so, in nurturing yourself, in stepping into your power, in your Leo-ness, and, you know, integrating, you will, you know, advance so much. But it is like, there's polarity. It's like you versus me kind of energy, and it might feel, you know, as if right now we do kind of have that power, but we might be afraid of it because it's the moon. We start the week off with the moon opposite Pluto and Mercury. You know, that's intense, that's afraid, it's like, afraid to lose our emotional security, afraid to, you know, be threatened. And then, you know, the moon travels further and opposes Saturn. The moon in Leo is going to oppose Saturn. If that's not like some external authority or a father or a mother, you know, trying to pull you down and say, well, I don't think it's really a good idea if you step on that bicycle. You know, you're going to fall. And you're like, no, I know that I can, you know, I've just done it. You might not have seen it, but it's like, no, you're not going to do it because it's just too dangerous. And, you know, here is where you're going to have to say, I'm just going to ride that bicycle and you're going to watch me, you know? So, and then doing it and just like all of a sudden, holy shit, like the parents that they say like, wow, but you know, still, you can do it, but just get on that bike because it's very dangerous, you know? So that's kind of the energy. But I do have to say, Mercury comes into Aquarius, shifts into Aquarius, and whew, it's kind of like a relief with that Mercury in Capricorn. It was over Pluto, and you know, it's just like, okay, we can finally look ahead a little bit more, visions of the future, be different. So even though by the end of this week, Sun goes into Pisces, we got Mercury in Aquarius, thinking ahead, being progressive, and still like connecting and being radically different, thinking radically different. And I think, right, all those things that have been happening underneath the surface of, you know, the whole narrative of something 19 that is falling and all those things, I think that because of that Mercury retrograde, because of that Venus retrograde, that's what's happening over Pluto. Mercury in Aquarius is now looking ahead and saying, okay, you know, all of that, let's just leave that behind of us. Let's just now continue and see how we can construct a new future and a better future without having to rely upon some Capricornian institutional banking, you know, profiting, sucking the life out of Mother Earth kind of energy. And the cool thing is, you know, with that, then that full moon in Leo comes. And so there is this, you know, a tug of war, as they say, between like some pride and some ego-ness and some very cool heart, you know, just like me kind of a leadership versus the group, you know. And what this full moon in Leo is saying first and foremost is that we have to use the talent that we have, every single one of us, of our unique power, unique heart, our uniqueness. And the full moon in Leo is, it's a culmination. It's like you've been working on your, like your manes and just combing your hair and just getting all very like, you know, just, you know, this jacket too, you know, just like, look at it, man, it's just fucking epic, you know, that kind of energy. And just own it without over identifying with the ego. All right, and just create and naturally express yourself. The full moon in Leo says now is the time that you come into a culmination, that you've been working on it. It's like reaping the benefits. It's harvest time, baby. So, but that Sun in Aquarius says, okay, but you know, you got that Leoness, but you got to think about, okay, how can we integrate this leadership quality, this uniqueness, for the better of mankind, and to help others to do the same, and to help them shine, and to together create a better future. You know, it's about creation, creativity. And what's even more, and what I love about this, is that it's squaring the nodes. That means that it needs to happen, and this is for evolution. So this is an opportunity. That's the light, you know. We cannot fall in the dark of pride, or of in the fact of like, I'll do it because other people do it. That is not stepping in your Leoness. That is not stepping into your Aquarian energy. You know, that would be falling into the dark here. And you know, what's even more is this full moon Leo is in conjunct Pluto. And in conjunct Pluto means we got to understand that we have a lot of power here, and that there's going to be some annoying energy, some transformative energy, some things that we don't have control over. It is in conjunct over to the moon in Leo. So it's like there is this kind of like fall from grace that can come from this, and You know, just if you over abuse your power, over abuse your pride, your Leoness, you know, it's just like too intense, too much ego, we could see. So, but the ability to just, you know, observe and not act, you know, too over impulsively. And over impulsive action is definitely something that could happen right now with, you know, once that moon crosses into Virgo, opposes Jupiter. Jupiter is, by the way, sextiling Uranus, which brings opportunities the whole time. It's a slow moving energy, so it is there for a long time, and it's building, and it's going to be exact on Thursday. So the opportunities, the new exciting, expansive things that come on our path, and that's very, very exciting. It's very beneficial energy. It's expansive, it's exploring. The moon comes into Virgo, opposes that Jupiter, and that could mean exuberance. But, you know, I think this has the potential to integrate that opportunistic energy. The moon is also trining over to Uranus. We have to remain ourselves open for new opportunities, not get too caught up in the Virgo, okay, I have to do, this is it, and there's nothing else in the world. There's a new opportunity, and I got to take this opportunity right now, and I got to integrate it and forget about everything else. You know, it's like, yes, you know, you got to integrate it, but hold on a second, you know, in this time, once you integrate, just, you know, keep your eyes open for other things that, you know, could remain on your path, and, you know, just work, but it's like, okay, you know, oh, that looks cool too, you know, how can I integrate both? Not all of a sudden the shiny penny, like, okay, bye. It's like, no, hold on, how can you synergize? Synergetic energy is what this is about. Then come the moon, by the end of this week, before we end the week, comes opposite Neptune. And, you know, this is kind of like all of a sudden complete surrender, complete faith, and just like, oh, no. And this is like the end of the week is going to be very like Aquarian in that sense. It's going to be high highs, very expansive, very, yes, opportunistic and exuberance. And then all of a sudden, moon opposite Neptune, no. Just like, I got to just completely lock myself up and just completely isolate, and oh my God, I went too far with that moon opposite Jupiter now, and you know, now the moon is opposite Neptune. And I know you don't think like that, it's just like that, this is the soul talking, but it's like moon and opposite Neptune, it's just like, oh my God, you know, it's like, why did I do that? It's just, I feel guilty now. It's just, fuck, you know, just like, whoa, easy on yourselves. This moon in Virgo is just opposite, is just like asking to integrate, to look, to ground the spiritual, very spiritual experiences, because by now the sun is coming to Pisces, and Sun, Jupiter, and Neptune are in Pisces, and that's very exciting, romantic, dreaming, expansive. At the same time, it is so freaking interdimensional communication, psychic, angelic guidance, period. And the moon in Virgo that has the opportunity to get to work with that energy. This is service energy. We got full moon energy, by the way, coming into Pisces. The sun, when the sun shifts into Pisces, the moon is still full in Virgo. So that means that the whole month of Pisces, we got that full moon energy, full moon in Virgo kind of energy. This is where we need to learn to balance the practicality with the spirituality, where we're going to flip between one and another, but where we eventually learn to find that midpoint, to find that balance. And I think, you know, we're in for a ride. Like, spiritually speaking, we're gonna get upgrades that people are like, what the fuck? Like, that just happened? Pisces season is gonna be nuts. Stay tuned. All right, go and check out that full moon in Leo guide, spiritual guide. You can just Download it for free or purchase it for $4.99. Support me. Or, just hit me up. And check out the Heaven on Earth community. See you in there. Pisces season is here, baby. Much, much love. Take care. Good weekend and good week.